Welcome to a new episode of the TF Motorsports official podcast. I'm Thomas Frasco. As I said, that the next time we're going to do an episode is going to be for the 2025 kickoff. However, once again, plans have changed. I really should probably not do that for the next time. So anyway, we have a special guest here today, all the way from Brisbane, Australia. It is Jackson Morris, the owner of MonsterTalk. Jackson, how are you?
I'm doing good, Thomas. Thank you so much for having me on this podcast. Like I was saying to you before we started, it is weird being on the other side of an interview. Normally, I'm hosting it, I'm interviewing other people. Today, I am being interviewed, which pretty weird, but I'm really excited and looking forward to today's episode of the Thomas Frasco podcast.
All right, awesome. So now we're gonna go ahead and begin things off with
Okay.
how everybody's journey kind of begins when we first fall in love with the sport. Where did that start for you?
So I would like to think it's a little bit different than how fans normally do. So being in Australia on the opposite side of the world, nearly falling off the planet, as most people joke around and say. My love, I don't remember what year it was exactly, but we're going to assume that I was 5 years old. So 2008, my dad surprised me with a birthday present, and it was a Monster Jam World Finals 1 through 5 DVD box set, which I still have. Although I won't lie to you, Thomas, it is in terrible condition. I'll send you some photos that you can put in the thing, but it is in rough shape. But at least the DVDs work, so that's a good thing. So I grew up watching those basically all day, and we didn't really, well, if we had Master Jam on TV before, I'll say 2009, I certainly didn't know about it, and neither would my parents. But we used to get Master Jam on basically Australia's version of Speed TV, which was called Fuel TV, and we got a bunch of Master Jam on there. I used to collect the Monster Jam DVDs when they were still in circulation. Rip the Monster Jam DVDs. They don't do them anymore. And my first Monster Jam show was 2014 when they came down to Brisbane finally. And I've been a fan ever since. I've not missed a show in Australia since 22. Yes, I had to think about that. It's really sad. But yeah, I've been a fan ever since, and I'm loving Monster Trucks at the moment. I'm all over it. I've been all over it for quite some time, and yeah, that's how I got my start.
That one. All
Okay,
right,
cool.
go.
So I've never not been a fan of Monster Jam. It's hard to like pick one specific era that I really like. Obviously, I grew up with the early 2000s. I then grew into the 2010s, and now I seemingly go to a lot more shows than I used to in what I'd call the modern era. I definitely look fondly on the 2010s, especially because I saw a lot of Monster Jam from that time. So a lot of the early 2000s I kind of discovered when I was getting older. The 2010s was basically my childhood, and I do think that's probably one of the best eras of Monster Jam, probably the golden age. But I really like new Monster Jam. I love living in the present and appreciating what comes out now. And I do think that the sport is really great where it's at now. Sure, it's not perfect. They have things that they can improve on, but I really love the sport at the moment, where it's going, and uh, where it's at currently. It's really fun to watch. And like I said, it's kind of hard to pick just one era, but the excuse me, the 2010s definitely one of my favorite eras of Monster Jam of all time. But the 2020s where we're at currently, it's pretty awesome. So I love everything at the moment.
And then 2024, obviously this year, you had a big trip planned, and you had a whole vlog and a whole experience, and that was the Monster Jam World Finals from this year in
Yeah.
California. So yeah, just was it pretty much surreal to you that you were right there at the biggest stage of monster trucks?
Oh, for sure. Um, so I had this plan for a while. So I always, as a kid, I always wanted to go to a Master Jam World Finals in Las Vegas at Sam Boyd Stadium. Now, obviously, we know the story of what happened to Sam Boyd, so I won't retell it for probably the 15th time, but they had to move it out, they had to do other things.
Yeah.
And entering into the 2020s, I was like, I want to do a Master Jam World Finals. I am a fan. I have to see it at least once. And in 2023, when they announced this year's World Finals, I thought it's the perfect opportunity. If you look on a map, from Brisbane to California is perfect. It's a straight flight. It's not like, say, I don't know, if they had have hosted in like Nashville again or East Rutherford or even Utah, I'd have to fly into California and then fly somewhere else. So the flight from Brisbane to California is already treacherous as it is. So to go somewhere else would just kill me. And let me tell you, as someone who has now done that flight, oh boy, it was bad. I watched a ton of movies because I did not fall asleep once. I was awake for like
Really?
13 hours. Imagine sitting in your chair right now for 13 hours. That was basically my experience. It was awful. Uh,
Jeez.
yeah, it was bad. That was not fun. But the experience that I had just in America as a whole, it was unbelievable. The experience at the World Finals, unbelievable. It was just an incredible feeling. The amount of fans that I met was ridiculous. I am 100% serious when I tell you, during the main pit party, like during the morning, I met more fans than drivers. I saw 3 drivers. I saw Tom, I saw Chris, and I saw Jim. And those were the only drivers that I went up to and got signatures from, because most of the time I was either just taking it all in, having a moment, and fans were just coming up and meeting me, and it was a surreal feeling. Yeah, my trip in America was lifetime memories. It was unbelievable, to say the least.
And now, here's a little fun question before we segue into talking about the main channel, Monster Talk. So
Okay.
obviously, and I just thought about this. So for like, obviously, you know a lot about monster trucks, and you've been to many different tours. If you had your own monster truck tour,
Ooh.
what would be the types of tracks, and what would be the competitions that you would have in it? Like, it's your choices. What would you do?
Man, that's a really interesting question. I would want to do kind of like, I don't know. I'd want it to be something kind of serious, but also kind of something fun. So I'd like to do stadiums, kind of like an AEW of monster trucks, I guess you could say, minus the spending a fortune on talent. I would like really like to have like big stadium shows with like my own feel, the branding, really cool. I wouldn't say simple tracks, maybe like simple racing setups so that you can maximize freestyle. Maybe have some new school and old school elements, and definitely probably some of my favorite indie drivers, and put them on a stage that maybe some of those wouldn't necessarily be used to, but would definitely enjoy. But that's a really interesting question. I'd love to do that. I'd love to put on some type of show, or even like sponsor a show. That would be, well, that is definitely a dream of mine, but that would be something really special.
That was a really great answer. All right, so now let's go ahead and let's talk about the YouTube side of things. So, where did your YouTube account first begin, and what was your initial plans?
So my channel came about because I had an Instagram page. It went under many different names, most of which were pretty cringe, but most people know that it used to be Monster Jam Historian for quite a while. I had my channel not long after I made the Instagram, and I used to just post clips that me and my dad would film at Monster Jam shows. So anytime we went to like Brisbane, Sydney, or Melbourne. By the way, those are the correct ways to pronounce those states. If you say Melbourne or Brisbane, I'm gonna smack you. However, yeah. So that was sorry, that wasn't very funny. The that's where the channel started, and along the way, I kind of really wanted to see content that wasn't really available at that time. And then I just had the idea one day because I always had a passion for video editing. I think most people kind of grow up making like highlight reels of like their favorite trucks and drivers. I was the same. Like during school, instead of doing my schoolwork, I'd do like highlight reels of like Ryan Anderson, like tearing stuff up. Same with like Tom Benz. Um, that might explain why my grades were on a decline.
Whoops.
But no, I'm kidding. But yeah, I really wanted to do those types of videos, and yeah, one day I just decided let's do it. And here I am. I don't even know what I'm up to. 180,000 later. It's pretty surreal to say the least.
Yep, and then you decided to change the name to Monster Talk, and gotta be honest, it really rolls off the tongue. It's a really good name, and
Thank you.
yeah, and then you had they currently have the mostly weekly news videos where it goes over the results for Monster Jam and some of the major tours, and then you got
Yeah.
all the news throughout the community. How did that all start?
So that came about from well, I got my inspiration from some wrestling YouTubers because at the time, and I'm definitely more into it than I was at the time. But at the time, I really love wrestling, and one of my favorite things was to find out the most that I could about like what was going on with wrestling at the moment. So I watch a lot of I don't really remember the channels, but I used to watch a lot of like specific wrestling channels where they'd be like, oh, see what happened to Randy Orton this week. He did a cool move or like that kind of stuff. Or this superstar signed a new contract. And I thought, gee, that'd be really cool with like the monster truck sort of thing. And at that time on Instagram, everyone would post like all the news things on Instagram. And the one down part of being from the future is that when everyone posts all their new stuff, it is when I'm sleeping. So I'm always late to posting stuff, despite being ahead in time before everyone else, which sucks, but oh well. Uh, so I thought, everyone on Instagram knows about this, but I don't know how many people on YouTube know about, you know, Tyler Menninger is driving, or that's a bad example. I'm trying to think of, like just a random like truck change. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know, like Joe
pretty
Yuri
much the
driving Velociraptor or something, right?
yeah.
So I would do that. I'd put that in a news video, and then I'd put that up, and then it really started to take off. And yeah, it was kind of just the same sort of thing as all my other like documentary styled videos where I got inspiration from wrestling media and I saw that no one was doing this for monster trucks. I said, well, rather than just sit here and wish for it to happen, I can just make it myself. So I did. And here I am. It's once again, I hate to repeat myself, it is very surreal to say the least.
Yeah, we should also bring up about your videos. It is honestly revolutionary because, again, as you said, no one has done these videos like as you're doing right now. So, to me, this actually kind of makes the sport feel more legitimate. So, I'm really glad you started doing these videos.
I appreciate that. It definitely, yeah, I really like doing them. I don't see, well, I guess you could say it enhanced the sport. I don't know. I don't like to put myself too much on a pedestal. I am very proud of what I've created with Monster Talk, and I do think that it is very big. But in terms of me myself, I don't really like to elevate myself on a pedestal, but I really appreciate when you and someone else says that about Master Talk. And I don't know, I just really love making videos, and I've got some good stuff coming up. So stay tuned, I guess.
That's awesome to hear. And another thing that really was pretty groundbreaking this year was that you have now your own website. So, how did that come to
Yes.
be?
So it came about. So I now have two jobs. I have my other job where it's kind of like respite and all that. I don't know, riveting stuff. And I also do MonsterTalk, and because of that, you know, income and all that stuff, you know, all that boring stuff that no one cares about. I needed to more reliably put out news more easily because I don't think anyone truly realizes that even though the news video is one video once a week, I spend basically an entire day putting together a news video. And I still do, even with the change thing. I have to write it, I have to research it, I have to record it, listen to all of the outtakes that I have because I cannot do the video in one take smoothly. I have to edit it, upload it, do the thumbnail, make sure it's okay, set it up to upload before I go to bed, and then finally go to bed. So I spend a lot on just putting together one news video per week. And there has been many, many times where I will spend a day on doing a video on a news story, and then new information about a particular story will come out like the day I post it. And it's like, ugh, that's fun. So the website allows me to post it like then and there, change it if need be. And you don't need an account. You could just check it out, have a quick read, and all the news is right there. All of the events, I was really proud with that. I really love the functionality of it to where you can find any events that are happening, the lineups. You can click the find tickets; it'll take you straight there. I really see that as, well, again, not to talk myself up, but revolutionary in the sense where if you're a Monster Truck fan, you're not really aware what's on in your area. You might find something that might interest you, and rather than seeing it and then having to try and find the link for it, you can just click it there and it'll take you straight there. So I'm really proud of the website too. Um, and yeah, I think it's a very great part of Monster Talk at the moment.
Now, let's go ahead and let's go back to some monster truck fan type of questions that I got for you. So
Okay.
obviously, so you went to Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party for the first time this year.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so how was that experience? Because I've never been to that tour, and I might go there out of boredom one day, but I just want to know from you.
Well, I think my experience wasn't exactly like everyone else's because it was certainly it was unexpected to say the least. I went going purely for the fact that I wanted to, you know, have a fun time. It was monster trucks. It was American trucks, most of which I'd never seen. So I wanted something fun. Imagine my surprise when I find out the night before we go that there's actually dirt. So I was like, oh boy, I was really excited for that. I get there super early, and the vibe is pretty crazy. It is very much kid friendly, but for me. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun time. The dirt enhanced the show by a long shot. I'm telling you that if Hot Wheels does more dirt shows, they're never gonna be, or at least in the moment, they're never gonna be Monster Jam standards. But I'd say that it was quite entertaining on dirt, especially with the driver lineup that we had. Craig Christensen, best part of the show. Rick Steffens and Megarex burnt down the house. That truck is awesome. And all the other drivers that were on that tour, super nice, amazing people, and they did great during that show. Now, obviously, Thomas, if you went, you're probably gonna get concrete, which I'd say enjoy. Um,
Mm.
but I don't know. I think it's a fun time, a little. It's no Master Jam, yes, but I think it would still be a fairly reasonable time. Then again, I don't know what your standards of a show are because my standards of a show usually is, um, well, I'm sure you've seen the type of shows that um, normally happen down here compared to, you know, all the shows in America. But yeah, I thought Hot Wheels was a great time. It was a lot better than I expected, and I'm really excited for next year. They just announced that they've got the Glow and Fire tour or something going
Yeah,
on.
that's
So
what it's
that'll be
called. I
fun.
just I found that out just today, so now I'm
Yeah.
beginning to ask questions about that whole concept. Is it like they're bringing the glow party thing back, but also having fire on the side? Like I don't know, like what's the concept of that, but I'm pretty sure they'll probably announce something soon.
Something, and there was a press release that I saw. I don't want to spoil it because I'm about to put it in my news video. But it doesn't really give much away. It kind of speaks for itself. But yeah, I'm excited for that, and I think the Brisbane show is at the end of August, which is fun, I guess. I gotta wait all the way to August next year. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that will be fun for you since obviously it's probably going to be on dirt again. But again, for
Hopefully,
me, yeah, for me again, I might possibly. I have been thinking about it, and some of my buddies on here, they've been there before. Like, even though that the tour is pretty lackluster in some points, I still just want to go just to try it. Like, I always go for
yeah,
that term, like, don't knock it till you try it, which I'm that type of person. So I might just try it, and I'm just gonna go there with low expectations and just like fool around and maybe do like a vlog out of it, which is something different.
yeah.
Um, yeah. So now the 2025 Monster Jam season is right around the corner
Oh
and
yes.
possibly either this week or next week. There's no given date just yet. The Monster Jam lineups will be announced, the drivers, the trucks, the locations, all of that will be revealed. So with how the season is going to happen next year, who do you think is going to be pretty much on top by the end of the season? Is it once again going to be a Tyler Menega season, or do you think somebody else is going to be on top?
Ooh, well, I'm expecting quite the shakeup in lineups. They've had quite the few same lineups the last couple of years. They did change it up a little this year. And now with, well, the rumors that it'll be 14 trucks and stadiums and Tom Ment's gone, it's kind of gonna really shake things up. So I'm excited. I think that there's a chance. I'm sure Tyler will probably do what Tyler does best and pull off some crazy moves that make us go, "Hey, I'm sure that came from Riggs of Rods," and absolutely sweep the competitions. But I'm really excited to see if there's other drivers like Armando Castro that can step it up and maybe surprise us and do really well on a stadium tour. Maybe some new indies. I'm sure some of the Marvel trucks will join the fold, and that'll be really exciting. Um, so I'm just looking forward to the whole thing. And like you, I have no idea when they're going to announce it, but I'm excited to see when that is and what is announced.
All right, now we're going to wrap things up with a bow, and that is going to
Okay.
be talking about the future of your brand, Monster Talk. What's the future hold for Monster Talk?
Man, well, hopefully, well, one thing's for sure, I definitely want to try and go to more shows. I definitely want to try and do more stateside visits, although that does mean I have to have more 13-hour flights where I just watch a ton of movies. So if you have any movie recommendations, let me know because I might need
Yeah,
some.
I'll try.
Um, especially like 3-hour long movies. You'd think that that would be a slog, but trust me, it helps. I watched like the entire Avengers Infinity War saga on the flight home. That actually helped me get through the painful experience of flying 13 hours back to my home country. But in terms of the future of Monster Talk, I have some big videos planned. You know of one that I've just told you about. I've got another two-parter video that I'm really looking forward to that I think people are really going to love. I have some more special videos in the works. I'm trying to expand the gaming channel with Master Jam Showdown out recently. I'm really looking forward to doing more Showdown content.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
I have been real well, Dad especially has been getting into collecting recently, and he
Oh
has been
cool.
making some purchases. And that's kind of bled into me a little bit because I used to collect a lot when I was young, but now it kind of stopped. Now it's picking up a little bit. So I really want to do some collecting kind of content. And most of all, I just really want to just expand the brand and just do more exciting videos. I'd love to have merch, but I'm looking into that. And yeah, I'm just really excited. It's mainly about the videos, to be honest with you. I'm always thinking of the next best video idea that I want to do and a video that you guys really enjoy. Because at the end of the day, without the videos and without the fans, there is no Monster Talk. So that to me matters most more than anything else that I've said. But I definitely want to um, travel more, do more shows, do some other types of Monster Truck content, and make amazing videos that you guys love. And meet more of you guys because I will say meeting everyone at World Finals was a surreal experience and it made my trip all the more special. So I appreciate you guys and I appreciate you, Thomas, for having me on this podcast. I really appreciate it. And this has been a fun time. And yeah, that's all from me.
All right, Jackson, it was awesome having you on the podcast. If you guys want to take a look at Monster Talk on YouTube, or if you want to check out his website, both are in the description down below. Also down in the description is my official Discord, the TF Motorsports Discord, where we're able to talk about all things monster trucks, NASCAR, Supercross, anything involving motorsports. So that was it for this episode of the TF Motorsports podcast. And again, this time I'm going to say possibly the next episode is going to be about the 2025 Monster Jam season, unless if some more plans go in the way. But thank you guys so much for watching or listening, and we'll see you guys next time here on TF Motorsports.